Okay, today we're going to do a quick review on a couple of items. First being the Bontrager Race X Lite handlebar, and then the Lizard Skins, the DSP grip. The Bontrager bar is the exact same bar that I had on the bike to begin with, other than the bar it came with was aluminum. This is the carbon fiber version. The reason I went with the carbon fiber was to absorb shock, and it does that. It's lightweight, which is nice, but that's not really what I was concerned about. I wanted something that was going to absorb some of the shock and the smaller bumps and stuff like that that you're going to get while riding these bikes without suspension. I've heard that putting a carbon fiber bar on your bike is one of the best improvements you can do. Depending on how your bike's set up, I'd probably agree with that. I'm happy with it. I liked the ride position that the original bar gave me, and I wanted to stick with that. So this was perfect for me. Kept the cockpit exactly the way I wanted it, and it smoothed the ride just a little bit. It took some of the fatigue off of me on longer rides that were real rough and stuff like that. So I'm happy with it. $129.99 is what those retail for. I think that's a good mid-range price for a carbon fiber bar. We're seeing a lot of really inexpensive stuff coming over from China that is really inexpensive and probably should be avoided. If you look at reviews on some of that stuff, they're not worth their money, even though they're really inexpensive. So keep that in mind. Bontrager makes good high quality stuff, and they didn't disappoint with this. Going to the grips, the Lizard Skin DSP grips they're a foam grip. I had some concerns with that initially as far as durability goes and that. This is the second set that I've had on here. I had to change them out when I changed the bars. So I've had these, I've used the DSP grips since the end of October, November. A lot of miles on them, both in the snow and in the desert, hard miles. Again, I wanted something that was going to be a little more comfortable on my hands, absorb some of the shock, and that's why I went with the soft grips as opposed to a rubber grip. They're super lightweight. I don't know that they publish the weights on these, but okay, 30 grams per set. I mean, that's like nothing. So if you're a weight weenie and really concerned about that kind of stuff, these are awesome for weight. Comfort-wise, they're perfect. Absolutely loved them. They come in two different sizes. There's a 32.3 and a 30.3. These that are on here are the 30.3. I originally had the 32.3s on there. Again, when I had to switch the bars, they're kind of a one-time use, and we'll show you that we're actually going to swap these out so you can see how they come off and how the new set goes on. But they use a double-sided tape, which is pretty cool. That means they can ship these as air without any issues with glue packets and stuff like that, and they work really well. They lock on. Never had these things move or budge. They're great. Durability was a second concern that I had because they're a foam grip. I was concerned, man, if I go down, if I hit something, they're just going to get shredded. They won't hold up. They've got this rubberized coating over the grip that gives it a great tack to it, so it's a real positive hold on it, but it still maintains that softness. Now you can see, and we'll get some zoom in shots on this of, they've taken some abuse. Now these guys, I raced the True Grit 50-mile race out in the desert in St. George with these on there. Went over the bars into the rocks, and you can see where it just really gouged the crap out of my new bars, my brakes and everything. And there's a couple little pits and a small tear right here in the grip. So like I said, these are a single-use application. There's double-sided tape under here, holds the grip on, very solid. So to get them off, we got to cut. And I want to make sure I'm not pressing in here too deep because I don't want to weaken this carbon fiber, if that's possible with this razor knife like that. I probably should have got a sharp one. But so there's the old grip off, and then the old tape should just peel right off. Okay, so it took us about 10 minutes to get all of the tape and sticky stuff cleaned off of this with a kitchen scrubby and some soap, but it's pretty well cleaned off now, so it's ready for the new grip. Pull these guys out. So here is our double-sided tape. And you want to overlap maybe about 1/4 of an inch over the end of the handlebar to stuff it in. So you get that going. And you want to peel that off. And tuck it all in there on the end. Now this is where it gets kind of funky. Getting the original green ones back on there. They recommend you use a glass cleaner, like a Windex or something. You're gonna wet down the tape, you're gonna wet down the inside of the grip, you're gonna slide right on, and then as it dries, they stick. I don't have glass cleaner, so we're using this stuff, which is pretty similar. I used it last time I installed them, and they seem to work okay, so. Don't be afraid to get this nice and lubed up. Otherwise it's going to stick while you're trying to put it on, and then you're going to have a problem. So nice and soaped up. Get the logo where we want it. Get the and that's pretty much it. Wipe that down. Now the one thing that I did find a bit disappointing with the grips are the end caps. You can see this one barely hanging on. And I found that whenever I tried to put them in, they kind of just broke. They never really lasted very long. Not a big deal. But I asked them about that. They said they were working on some new ones, and they gave me some of these fancy new guys to try. So once you get your grip slid on there, those are actually a lot nicer. There you have it. Final product, brand new grips, nice and cushy. These guys retail for about $26.99, 27 bucks. I think they're awesome. It's what I'm going to keep on my bike. Hope that review helps you make a decision on new bars and grips for your bike. See you later.